Alright, hello and welcome to another Warframe challenge. So, today's challenge, I have turned down a notch, just for the sake of brevity, but also not really the reason I chose it. It is from Max Mustermann, and it is to go to any mission on the moon and kill at least 5 sentient fighters. I can only bring one weapon, and I'm not allowed to use any directed damage dealing Warframe powers. So, the part that I'm going to tone down about this is that instead of 5, which is a very significant chunk of time of just doing a survival on the moon, that is kind of just empty space, I'm going to do an exterminate, which I believe the max amount of sentience you can get on an exterminate is 2. If it was more, that would be nice, but for the sake of brevity, I will be doing the exterminate instead. Because even like the levels that they will gain in that exterminate are, it's going to be me fighting the sentients the same way each time, and it's not going to be very interesting to see more than once, I suppose. So just for the sake of brevity, I'm going to make it 2 instead. So what am I going to be using? I'm going to be using Excalibur and Broken War. So, despite like popular belief, Sentients are actually not even particularly that tough if you appropriately apply massive damage. And Broken War plus Excalibur can absolutely achieve that, which is why I'm using them. And I will show the builds at the end of the video, but let's just get this started. And hopefully I don't have like an insane amount of enemies in the mission, because the variance on this mission's like number of enemies is incredibly high. Sometimes it's like 70 dudes, and other times it's like 170 dudes, so hopefully we get the lower end of it.
There is a large platoon of Green Marine stationed here.
You know, I'm not going to waste your guys' time. We're just going to reset that. I'm going to reset and get, like, a more reasonable amount of enemies that will actually spawn. Yeah. Because the problems with Exterminate right now mean that will take a exorbitant amount of time to get through. And, like, they just won't fucking spawn for me, so I'm instead going to choose just to not do it, because that's fucking lame. Yeah. Oh. It is that text. Interesting that like, second dream teaser can even appear here. 109. Much more reasonable. That amount of enemies might actually spawn within the span of this mission. Alright. Watch it not spawn me any, sentients. Now that would be comedy. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Broken War is the best single sword in the game by a pretty large margin. So, it's a good choice for applying massive DPS to a Sentient. Yeah, much more reasonable than 170 enemies. Way more middle of the road and less time wasty. Oh good, the Sentients are here. Where are you guys at so I can like push your buns in? Below me? Where are you guys at? Sentients. I can hear them. There they are. Hey, you guys. That piss you off good? Piss you off real good? That's good. Alright, come on. There you are. Hello, everyone. You have to get away from that. But I can kill this one while that one is being a butt. There we go. Yeah, that's basically the way you deal with Sentients. I pretty much always deal with Sentients with a melee weapon. For example, although he's technically not a Sentient, he has the same resistance style. Shadowstalker, the last time Shadowstalker showed up, which was sometime yesterday, my Skindo Prime made very short work of him, and that is a trend that will continue to be a thing. Melee, I find, is the absolute best thing you can use on the Sentients by like a large margin, especially if you are using exalted weaponry. Sentients are really not big fans of Exalted Blade or Valkyr's Claws, although Valkyr's Claws have a significantly harder time hitting them. So, that's a minor downside. Also, it figures that these enemies would spawn back here. I'm gonna do this stealth thing if I can do it quickly. Just because getting the extra drift mod would be nice. Oh, and there's an enemy here. There's a couple enemies here. Flying on me, you little bastards. Okay, so I should be able to do this really, really fast. There we go. Alright, stealth drift, hooray. Always good to have more of those. Enemies? Oh, they're still below me. Here's the reason. This right here, this type of shit, is why I did not want to do the 170 enemy exterminate. Because it just makes this take a hilarious long, like, obscene amount of time. Because you'll get to, like, the end of the mission and then enemies will start spawning behind you, and they'll spawn, like, one by one, and it is just a slog. But obviously, I hope this showed that Sentients are not particularly tough. There's a lot of people that think that Sentients are essentially completely invulnerable, and like basically cannot be beaten without like some special tactic. Yeah, just using melee on them, really, really effective as it turns out. Like, I don't think I'd... No. Whenever I first ran into Sentients, I think I Exalted Bladed them, and that made short work of them. I don't remember exactly. This is mostly just clean up crew duty. You behind this thing? Yeah, you are. Fuck you. More back over here. Hi, and there's more behind me still. That's the, and even farther behind me. Alright, there we go. 2 enemies left. One, and he's actually out here on the end platform. Oh, hiding a little bit. There we go. Alright, so, there's that. I know it's not 5, but the way I take Sentients out is always the same. It's always that. Like, I haven't taken Sentients out any other way, and that's just the normal way to do it, and it would have remained that way for the next 3 Sentients, no problem. In fact, like, just keeping air in the survival up would have been significantly more challenging than anything that actual Sentients could have thrown at me. So I hope that does a service to that. Also, wait, after I show the builds here, almost forgot. For Excalibur, this is my current Excalibur build. This is what I'm running pretty much all the time. If I added another forma to this, for those of you that are curious, I would just switch up to Prime Flow. As it is now, I don't really feel the need to add any more forma just because it's meh. Don't really need it. And then as for Broken War, this is the build that I'm using. Pretty basic, just need to max out primed reach and then it will be right where I want it to be. So yeah, nothing too complicated there. So, as I was going to say before, I'm going to be streaming today. So probably an hour after this comes out, that worked out pretty well last time, is when I will be streaming. So come hang out, talk. I'm going to be forming some stuff, maybe do some other things, you know? And then I'll probably also be talking about the plans that I have for Friday and Saturday this week. There's going to be a real big, long stream on Friday night that you guys will probably enjoy. So come hang out, ask questions, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video or tonight on the stream.